Which type of productive activity is shown in the picture? So we see here something is being manufactured while this is construction. So we can say it is the secondary sector. So D is the correct answer. Which of the following is a primary industry? A factory, certainly not. A fruit farm, yes, this would be the right answer, and the rest would be the wrong as well. No need to read them. All right, moving on, the diagram shows some of the advantages of division of labor in manufacturing. Which advantage means that it is possible to employ fewer qualified people? A, efficiency is increased. Okay, let's read the next one. Jobs take a long time to learn. Certainly, this would not be the answer. C, fewer skills required by workers. Let's see the last one as well. Time is saved in the production process. Now, the question says that we have to find out which advantage will help to employ fewer qualified people. So I think the right answer should be C, where it says that fewer skills required by workers, while D is time is saved. So this would not be the right answer because you will not be able to employ fewer qualified people, because that's the qualified is the main term, and efficiency is increased. That is also generally can be for the unskilled as well. So C is the correct answer. The diagram shows the stages of production. So we have primary, secondary, tertiary. What is X? That is here. So direct services, no, they are under the tertiary sector. Exhaustive industry, they are under the primary sector. Manufacturing, yes, this will be the correct answer. Lastly, it is non-exhaustive, that also comes under the primary sector. What is the advantage to a factory owner of using specialization? Greater craftsmanship? I don't think so. Increased use of machinery, this can be the right answer. Let's check the other ones. More workers required? No. Workers depend on one another, that is not an advantage. So B is the correct answer. What is meant by commerce? Buying and selling of goods and services between two or more countries? No, that is not what commerce is. Distribution of goods and services who need them? This can be the right answer. Let's read the rest. Making something known to the public through media? That is just one part of the aids to trade, not generally in commerce. Then D, production of goods and services to satisfy human wants and needs? Certainly not. So we have the right answer, which is B. Fourth, an example of interdependence between industry and direct services is a construction company advertising its range of charges. This will not be industry and direct services. Moving on, a drilling company taking out employers' liability insurance for its workers. Let's read the others and then decide. A manufacturer making medical equipment for doctors. Okay, we can think this to be the right answer. Let's see the last one as well. A wholesaler raising finance from a bank. I think uh, the right answer should be C, because a manufacturer making medical equipment for doctors and then doctors provide a direct service. So I think C should be the right answer. Which business would be classified as secondary industry? BB supermarket? Certainly not. MM warehouse? Nope. PC orchard? Again, that would be primary. Lastly, we have WW factory. Certainly that is the secondary industry. The diagram shows people working in a factory. So we have to ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the product. What manufacturing process is shown in the diagram? So we can see chain of production. No, we do not see the chain of production. Division of labor, I think, should be the right answer because people are doing each task which they're specialized in. And interdependence, no, and primary production, no. Which definition of trade is most accurate? Buying and selling for profit. I think this is the correct answer. We don't even need to read the other answers. Moving on, fourth is how does commerce assist industry? A. Changes raw materials into finished goods? No. Enables manufacturers to use medical services? Certainly not. Help manufacturers to find markets for their goods? Yes, that is the job of commerce. D. Provide building services for construction? Not at all. What is an example of interdependence between commerce and direct service? You can see this is a repetition of an MCQ that we did before, just a slight change. But let's see the answers. Doctors buying equipment from suppliers. This can be because this involves commerce and direct service because doctors are giving a direct service, and commerce is that you are buying from the suppliers. B. Governments imposing taxes? Certainly not. Manufacturers banking their incomes. Now we have commerce involved, but this is not a direct service. Then wholesalers agreeing contracts with retailers. Again, this is not a direct service. So A is going to be the right answer. Shufla Footwear is a shoe manufacturer. It employs 30 workers. Workers are specialized in different tasks. For example, cutting, shaping, stitching the shoes. A1, use an example from Shufla. State what is meant by specialization. This is for 2 marks. So you can write the definition of specialization, that is concentrating on a particular task or a process, and you have to give the example from the question. So you can choose any of these three, that is cutting, shaping, or stitching. Now, to explain one advantage, one disadvantage to Shufla's production workers of specialization. This is for 4 marks. So 2 marks for each. One advantage that you can write is that due to specialization, they perform their job again and again, due to which they become more skilled or more productive, you can write. And this allows use of machinery which would reduce the manual effort. Disadvantage can be that by doing the same job again and again, this might lead to boredom, and you might have less job satisfaction because you're just doing a part of the whole production that is producing the product. You're just a part of that, so that might lead to job satisfaction. Or you can write that fewer skills, so it might be difficult to transfer to another job if unemployed. The rest of the parts are uh, linked to other parts of the syllabus. We'll be doing these later as we move on. Pizza Perfect is owned by two brothers in partnership. They make pizzas which they sell to small specialist food shops and snack bars. Pizzas are produced in a small factory using division of labor in the production process as shown in figure 1. So we can see that in the first one they are mixing the flour and yeast, then shape the dough, then add fresh toppings, and then they are uh, bake it in the oven and package for delivery. Let's see the question. Using figure 1, help you to answer the following questions. A, state 2 advantages of using division of labor in a factory. This is for 2 marks, so you have to write any 2. So we can say that it would lead to higher productivity or less wastage, or you can write a better quality, or even economies of scale is a good point when talking about division of labor. Or you can write uh, less time is wasted by workers from moving from job to job. So you can choose any of these. Then moving on to the second part, it says using examples from figure 1, explain how primary production and secondary production are interdependent, 4 marks. So that means we'll have to give example from the figure. Now, firstly, you can tell what primary production is. So primary production is extracting raw materials. You can write that. Uh, it's concerned with extraction of raw materials. I'm writing it in the short form. Then you can write what secondary production is. So that is manufacturing. So then you have to write the interrelationship of the two. So we can say that without raw materials like flour or yeast or water, because these are coming from the primary sector, the goods cannot be produced in the secondary sector, that is baking in the oven. Right? I hope you get this. This is the interdependence that we require these to get here, or even the fresh tomatoes and peppers are also coming from the primary sector. Uh, Third, we're not doing because this is no more a part of our syllabus. All right, the diagram in figure 1 shows how specialization results in trade. So we have needs and wants, then production, then specialization, greater output, surpluses, trade. Figure 1. Use figure 1 to help you answer the following questions. A. Give an example from your country. Explain what is specialization. This is for 3 marks. So again, we're going to write the definition of specialization, that is concentrating on a particular task, or a process, or by doing the same task again you become an expert. And because specialization can take place in an occupation, factory, or a region, or a country, and as they've asked you for example of your country, so I'll be giving example of Pakistan. You can give example in whichever country you are. Pakistan basically is specializing in agricultural produce, so I give an example of cotton. Now B1, give one example of trade. So trade is home trade and uh, home trade and foreign trade. So you can choose any. I'll write retail trade, you can write wholesale trade, export or import. To explain how specialization can lead to trade, this is for 4 marks. So firstly, we're going to relate that specialization, when people are specialized, they do one kind of a job and they produce a part of the good, or if they're providing a service, they'll provide a service and earn living from that, or sell the produce to others, or they find wholesalers to sell for them, and then the money that they're paid, uh, they use that to buy other goods and services. So that is how trade takes place. So specialization, you work and sell the goods and services, and you earn money to buy other goods and services, buy other goods and services. So basically this is trade, that you are selling other goods, selling the goods that you're producing, and you know making a profit and then buying other goods and services. So when we are writing about trade, we can also write that you sell goods yourself or through a wholesaler or retailer. That will add to your answer. C, using examples, distinguish between needs and wants. This is for 4 marks. So generally needs you're going to write are those which people need to survive, that are essential for living, like food, water, heating, shelter, while wants are those that make life more pleasurable, and there are desires of people. This can be an iPhone or any material good you can write, or maybe holidays or entertainment. Then D, we will not be doing. E, let's see. A car manufacturer is concerned with production of cars. Discuss whether or not the car manufacturer is also engaged in trade. This is for 6 marks. So we are going to write here uh, about the car manufacturer. So car manufacturer we know is in the secondary industry, manufacturer secondary industry, and we know that uh, he is using the raw materials, that is he's buying these raw materials from the primary sector. Then we also know that he is producing this to make a profit, right? Producing to make a profit. And when he can also sell to other countries and in hometown or abroad. So we know that trade is basically buying and selling for profit. So he is involved in trade because he is producing, that is he's buying raw materials from primary sector and then producing and then selling them for a profit, and he can sell that in the home or in the foreign country. So basically we know that the car manufacturer is involved in trade, because if he will not sell these cars that he is producing, then there is no point of him to produce.